So, I don't think it's much of a secret to say the AAA video game industry is not doing too well, to put it very nicely. That thing is pretty much in the casket with King Tut at this point. I can list off 5 AAA failures from 2024 without even having to research. Hellblade 2, Concord, X-Defiant, Dragon Age. What else we have? Lego Horizons. I could keep going, but I think you get the point. The only upcoming AAA video game that I think will be any good at all is Doom the Dark Ages. I think that is pretty much a guaranteed hit. I don't even think GTA 6 will be that good, to be honest. And this comes from someone who has thousands and thousands of hours in the Grand Theft Auto franchise. But Grand Theft Auto 6 is kind of the subject of today's video, because there's a bootlicking analyst who actually hopes that Grand Theft Auto 6 is $100 and that the rest of the video game industry ups their prices to $100 to make up for the lack of sales and money in the AAA video game industry. It's on us to cough up more money instead of the developers to make better games. A video game industry analyst has said there is hope in the games industry that GTA 6 could cost up to $100 so that other companies could raise their default prices as well. I mean, Jesus Christ, how well do the soles of that rubber boot taste? This is like if McDonald's started putting a bunch of cheap ingredients on their burger and a bunch of people said, you know what, I don't want to go to McDonald's anymore, I'm going to go over to Burger King. And McDonald's says, our sales are pretty low, let's up the price of the burger. Most AAA video games are not worth the $70 price point. Now you want us to pay $100? Are you smoking crack? Anyway, let's read the article that they have linked here. There is hope that GTA 6 will cost as much as $100, says analyst. A $100 price for GTA 6 would be a turning point for the industry, it's claimed. Yeah, it'll turn it right off of a fucking cliff. Most people are done buying AAA games and have moved over to indie and AA games because the quality is better in those games. And you think upping the price to $100 will save the AAA video game industry? No, it'll just push more people to AA's and indies. Why buy a AAA video game for $100 where the devs probably hate you, it probably won't be finished at launch, it'll have day one DLC, why buy that when you can buy an indie game that's finished at launch, the devs love you, and it's a finished working product? Like, in all honesty, the AAA video game in that instance can gargle my armpit sweat. A video games analyst has claimed there is hope in the industry that GTA 6 could cost up to $100 so that other companies could raise their default prices as well, amid global inflation and swelling AAA development costs. Have you ever thought that the cost of AAA video games being so high might be the insane obsession you guys have with photorealistic graphics? Like putting fucking peach fuzz on Aloy's face? Like all these dumbass RTX shadows and stuff. That's why video games take so long to make as well, is because of the focus on graphics. If you guys didn't focus as hard on the graphical fidelity of your games, you could make more games, and they would cost less money. We should not have to pay more money because you guys can't handle your budgets correctly. I swear to God, the entertainment industry is the only industry that acts like this. They act like you're the problem for not buying the products. Guess what? If I think your product, like Star Wars Outlaws, is a shitty, unfinished pile of slop, I am not buying it. And if that causes your studio to get shut down, then that's tough. Matthew Ball of Epilon, I think is how you say that, I don't know, I don't care, has released his State of Video Gaming in 2025 report, which muses on how much the video game industry could change in the forthcoming year. One large focus of the report is Grand Theft Auto 6, which will doubtlessly be the biggest video game release of the year, should it make its planned 2025 release date. According to the report, there is hope within the video game industry that publisher Take-Two will use the unprecedented excitement around GTA 6 in order to bump up the default price of the game to $100. It's believed that if Take-Two took this step with GTA 6, a game that will sell incredibly well regardless of the price, then others could follow suit and potentially aid in recovering spiraling development costs. Alright, there's a couple things I want to say. First of all, GTA 6 does not need to be $100 considering how GTA 5 made the bulk of its money, the pay-to-win nature of the online. As someone who's like rank 400 or 500 in online, I kinda know what I'm talking about. The missions paid like absolute shit, and the only way to really make money was either heists or cargo missions, and you would have to pay like $300,000 to get all the cargo crates and then sell them for $600,000. And it would make it so you had to do it in a public lobby that incentivized everyone to come over and blow your shit up and cause you to lose money, which would then frustrate you and lead you to potentially buying shark cards, which are just in-game money for real-life money. On top of that, everything in the game was so insanely expensive that you had to grind all day to actually be able to afford anything. Now me, I did money glitches, but that's besides the point. So GTA 6 does not need to cost $100. Their online mode will be just as, if not more, pay to win, and that's how they'll make the bulk of their money. The next thing I want to bring up is the fact that you hope that video games go up to $100. That just shows how much of a bootlicker you are. Instead of hoping that the games get better so that more people buy them, you hope for the price to go up. GTA publisher Take-Two was one of the first to raise the price of games from $60 to $70 in 2020, which was completely by the way. While it is likely that GTA 6 will be released with a $100 version as part of a lineup of various special editions, it is currently expected that the standard game will be $70. Personally, I'm okay with this if it's something like Doom Eternal did. I remember Doom Eternal had a collector's edition, where if you bought the game, the collector's edition of the game, you actually got like a physical Doom Guy helmet with it. Which, by the way, if they do that for Doom the Dark Ages, I will 100% be buying it. But what I'm not okay with is if they cut content from the base game and lock it behind the $100 version. Gaming budgets have exploded in recent years as expectations have grown for how much content is included in a game. However, in response to this, video game prices have stayed largely stagnant outside of the recent $10 bump. In order to offset this, game makers have begun offering incentives that they can produce without any extra cost, but still charge for. For example, many large games now offer an early access window of a few days to those who are willing to buy the most expensive version of a game. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rewrite that for you. The trend is not paying to get early access, it is paying to get the game on time, and having to wait if you do not want to pay extra money for no reason. It shouldn't be on us to have to pay extra because you guys can't manage your budgets. I mean, seriously, that is the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. But I don't really have that much else to say. This analyst's article is completely pathetic, and so is the state of the AAA video game industry.